Hilltop Hangout.
Hello. Hi, Nikhil.
Dude, you're always sick. It's not gonna work, man. What will the subscribers and followers think?
It's okay. I have to make do with it.
Let's start. We have a very interesting topic. Um Something which is very deep to my heart. As when I was young, I was forced to watch these Indian TV soaps. It's been a constant fight. Oh man. So let's start. So my first exposure to Indian TV soaps, and of course, I found out, much later on that this is what they're called and this is what they're supposed to do and what they mean. Like the earliest memory which I have is, I think, probably coming back from school, and I don't know, about 4:30 p.m. and being served some snacks, and my mom, just to relax, would play one of these shows.
Right.
And at that time it would be a rerun, meaning, it would not be the latest episode. It would be like the previous night's episode is being played, and they would, my mom and my sisters and all would watch that also.
Right.
And I was exposed to shows like Kasauti Zindagi Ki,
Oh, yeah,
and
dude. Dude, I remember कहानी घर घर की and क्योंकि सास भी कभी बहू थी. These two shows,
uh-huh.
like the whole nation watched it together, I felt. Like I used to feel bad if I missed an episode, and I was a school-going kid. Like I don't know why I cared so much, right? But I was
Right.
hooked. And this was the case with everybody. Like everybody had to watch the 10 to 10:30 कहानी घर घर की,
Right.
10:30 to 11 क्योंकि सास भी कभी बहू थी.
Right.
And I remember the day Mihir died. It was like some, National Mourning Day or something. Like there were ladies who were crying and shit. And I was like, what?
And this is when, oh, this is hilarious. This is when I was first exposed to the concept of plastic surgery.
Oh, dude, yeah, man.
I
Like
was like, wow, I can change myself to look however I want. I had no idea.
that was the rage, in those days, plastic surgery. Like once Mihir came back as somebody else,
Right.
every Indian soap had to have a plastic surgery plot. Like that was the in thing.
I really think about it, like how did the idea come to the producers? The producers must have been like, ये concept plastic surgery का सही है, इसको कितना खींच सकते हैं? एक्टर को पे नहीं करना है, नया एक्टर लाना है, इसको कितना खींच सकते हैं? एंड आई
Exactly.
मीन दे
And
यूज्ड टू
the gossip used to be कि इस बंदे का एकता कपूर से लड़ाई हो गया, तो अब इसको मार देंगे, अब नया आएगा. And that is invariably what used to happen also. Like
राइट.
she was the boss, right? She was the grand old,
या
the
द ओल्ड
grandma of
गार्ड.
Indian television, right?
एग्जैक्टली.
But yeah, I mean, what, like it started from there, those
So yeah,
those
so
two
coming
or
back to
those
my
three
story, right?
serials. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So each one of these stories would have a very similar plot, and I used to always fight, with my cousins and with my mom that, hey, please. That was the time when they used to also have Pokemon. It was at the
Uh-huh.
same time, and it was the same time when they had incredible anime like One Piece and Slam Dunk and all these like franchises which have become legendary, multi-billion-dollar earning franchises through their merch sales and through various different things. But my earliest memory of Indian TV soaps comes from there, coming back home and probably fighting with my sisters or my mom to watch. The second part is, I mean, after watching this, maybe you go out to play, you go do some homework. At night during dinner, like the way it would be is, you have the television and then you have a sofa, And then on the sofa there would be everything kept to eat, and there would be plates, and the entire family would sit around the television
Yeah, yeah, I
and
remember
watch
this.
and watch कहानी घर घर की and क्योंकि सास भी कभी होती back to back, like 9 to 10 freaking fixed, like that would come up and that's what they would.
Yeah. And like you couldn't mess with that. Like, and it was obviously the obsession of the Indian mothers, right? I remember even before these two serials, there
Right.
used to be this one serial called Amanat. Okay,
Okay.
I don't know if anybody remembers this, but it used to be about this guy who had 8 or 9 daughters, right?
Okay.
And he was under a lot of pressure and a lot of things, but I don't exactly remember the plot. But what I do remember
Okay.
is that we had gone to watch a movie. Okay,
Okay.
this was late 90s or early 2000s, I'm not sure. And me,
Right.
my mom and dad, we'd gone for a movie 6 to 9. And my mom was in a rush, she's like jaldi chalo. And we're like, what happened? She's like, mera amanat ka episode miss ho jayega, jaldi chalo, hai na. So
Right.
fine, we reached home, and to our surprise, we realized that dad had left some tap open in the house. So the entire
Okay.
house was flooded. है ना?
Okay.
And even at that instant, my mom did not give two fucks. She was like, "We will clean this after 9:30. From 9 to 9:30, I'm gonna watch Amanat. I don't give a flying fuck." And I was like, "Oh, what?" And we literally sat on the sofa, and पैर नीचे रख रहे हैं और नीचे पानी है. And
My
mom was
God.
like, "Deal with it. Like, मैं अमानत देखूंगी पहले." So that was the
And
obsession, right, for Indian ladies
right.
with these serials. They related a lot to it. I don't know why. And dude, it also gives you an insight how lonely Indian women are. That they find
Yeah.
respite in such shitty shows. Like
Yeah.
it's not their fault. It's it's what's available to them, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the sad part is, well, if you really think about it, each one of these shows, they have the same underlying principle, they follow the same underlying emotion, they follow the same underlying thought process. All they are trying to do, especially TV soaps, is play on your insecurity. That's
Oh
it.
yeah.
That's the whole premise of the show. What are the insecurities which Indian women have, or even men for that matter? A common thing which would happen in each one of these shows is the male family suddenly runs out of money and they have to move out of their fucking palace into a normal house which is like as
Yeah.
big as any house we live in,
And
and that
dude,
normal house is like 3,000 square feet.
that struggle lasted only for like one or 2 weeks. They used to build up a fucking empire within a week.
Yeah.
And I was like, who are these people? How can I invest in their business? Even I want such returns.
and 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 the second thing would be the second insecurity which they would play on is either their husband dying, or their husband cheating on someone, or and in some TV shows, like their husband forgetting stuff or the wife forgetting stuff.
Okay, first of all, it is all these shows are misogynist as fuck. Okay, I really want to say this. Like, dude, like, uh, a lady's life does not revolve around the household. A
And
lady's
the
life
kitchen.
does not revolve around the kitchen and the husband and the mother-in-law and
एंड
the
कुक
father-in-law.
अगर कुकर ठीक से सीटी चढ़ाया
हाँ,
कि नहीं
like,
चढ़ाया.
what? Dude, okay. So, see, Indian TV started off well, okay, in the time of Doordarshan and in the time of Jaspal Bhatti, of Pankaj Kapoor, Office, and all these guys. They used to produce some really good television, right? I remember watching Hum Panch and
Okay.
a lot of these serials, which are good comedy shows. What fucked us up, I think, is genuinely Ekta Kapoor's ambition.
And
You know,
look, I want to stress on this. This is where, if you really think about it from a business perspective, what did she do? You can blame her all you want, but from a business perspective, what did she do? She found out that this is what people are watching. My goal is to get more viewers.
No, I
This
actually
makes
saw one of
business
her
sense,
interviews. I actually
right?
saw one of her interviews in the early days, right? Like
Oh,
I was obviously curious कि ये कहाँ से इसको मतलब ये सब बनाने का दिमाग आया, ठीक है? Because it was obvious for everyone, you know. And the interviewer asked her the same thing, and she was like, "Listen, I used to go to my friends' houses, right? And I used to see all this drama unfolding in front of me. Not exactly in front of me, but I knew about the drama, right? My friends used to tell me that, you know, this is what is happening, this is what. And she realized that this drama is there in every house. Like,
right,
it's not exclusive to one or two houses. Every single household in India has some drama or the other, whether it is financial or relationship wise, or just, you know,
right.
random shit like the mother in law not liking the chane or whatever.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah. I was gonna come to the Bahu Sasu trope next,
है
but
ना,
yeah,
right? So
yeah,
she's like, this was happening everywhere. The Saas Bahu shit was also happening in each household. So she's like, why don't I just produce? Why don't I, you know, show this drama to them every day? And this is also one of the reasons for the shitty quality, right? Indian shows air 5 days a week, non-stop, you know. So it's a total of 200 to 250 episodes a year, right?
right,
Now
yeah,
compare this with an English TV series where they release one episode a week, and you know,
yep,
every overall they create 10 to 24 episodes per year, and they release one or two
exactly,
seasons maximum, right?
yeah, yeah,
Now it's a call between quality and quantity, right?
right,
And if you are said that okay तुमको रोज एक शो बनाने का है तो मतलब उसको एक दिन पहले प्रोड्यूस करना है और एक दिन पहले
right,
अगर उसको शूट करना प्रोड्यूस करना है तो उसके एक दिन पहले उसको लिखना है, राइट? सो
right,
द राइटर्स आर दे हैव अ क्लियर ब्रीफ कि रोज एक एपिसोड लिख के दो. अब
right.
रोज अगर एक एपिसोड लिखना है तो ऑब्वियसली जो भी दिमाग में आएगा वो लिखेगा ना यार, इंसान कितना भी अकम्प्लिश्ड राइटर हो वो. बट
100%,
अगर तुम उसको
100%.
बोलोगे रोज एक एपिसोड लिख के दो तो ही ऑब्वियसली प्रोड्यूस शिट.
Yeah, yeah,
एज फार
absolutely.
एज लॉन्ग एज इट कैन बी शॉर्ट, है ना, उतना ही उनका क्राइटेरिया होता है कि इसको शूटिंग कर हो सके, बस ऐसा बना दो, बाकी तुम्हें जो
Right,
लिखना है लिखो, आई डोंट रियली केयर.
right.
So it is the market dynamics also. It's not just, you know, we can't blame the creators because there are good shows being produced. If we look at the OTT platforms, there are
Yeah, so
some
we'll come to that
amazing,
later. You know,
yeah, there are
let's
some amazing shows. But
absolutely.
but the soaps that we are talking about, they
Other
are,
daily release, you know, like
yeah,
now I want to stress on this a little bit more. The right comparison for a TV soap in India is not another TV show in the US. The
yeah,
right comparison for it is a late night show.
yep,
Because if you think about it, even these late night shows are doing it daily. The difference is late night show is not episodic. The difference is this TV series
it's
is
topical.
episodic. Exactly. So the second part over here is when you think about it from a pure business perspective, she's realized that okay, this is what people want to watch. This is what she's seeing in a lot of Indian households. Next, she's like, what? How do I make sure that this goes out every day so that it becomes a habit? And I think we can learn a lot from this. Like
Yeah,
her goal is to make it a habit. Her goal is to make it a routine. She wants to get that into the people's head. So if you think about it from that perspective, she's like, look, writing is a creative process. It's really difficult to do it at this scale. So
right,
writers will have overarching themes. They have to follow that and get content out. But the second thing which they do, and which I think a lot of Indian TV soaps do really well, is they have some of the most beautiful sets and some amazing equipment to showcase those sets.
right,
Like you have freaking palaces and you have things which she can control instantly. If I want to get a set design tomorrow, which I'll be using for a year, I can actually do that. I can invest in things which
exactly,
will look good. Like I'll invest
exactly,
in jewelry designer, fashion designer, and all that. She
right.
couldn't invest in the creative process because it takes time. I'm sure she also came to that conclusion. पॉइंट इज अब रोज करना ही है, रूटीन करना ही है.
हाँ,
ऑप्शन और क्या है बंदे के पास, बोलो मेरे को.
और क्वालिटी नहीं चाहिए तो क्वांटिटी दे मेरे को, आई
So
डोंट रियली
quality
केयर.
was, and okay, so this actually talks about how our Indian psyche is. Quality was very superficial.
हाँ,
Hire the best looking models, cover them with the best looking makeup, don't care about their acting skill. Look at hiring some of the best fashion designers. From a production quality, it's actually as good as one of those shows.
It is. It is. You're right. You
From a
know,
yeah,
she came to this comedy nights with Kapil, right? And she
right.
was like, she came with her father,
Uh-huh.
Jitinder, right? And somebody asked Jitinder that why do you think, Ekta Kapoor and Shobha Kapoor are so huge right now? Like they're the ruling over Indian TV. Why do you think that is?
Right.
And he had a very interesting perspective on that. He's like, see, Ekta Kapoor had decided that it was a business, right? Where from the time she started it, she wasn't in it for the creative angle of it, or she wasn't in it to change the world. She knew that she was building a business, right? And for that, he was like, so there was this set that they had to build for one of the shows. So invariably what every production house does is they end up hiring the sets, right? They hire it for like a month, 2 months, or whatever. They shoot their shit and they get out. But Ekta Kapoor, on the other hand, she bought out 3 sets,
Wow.
which were huge
Okay.
at that point. I'm talking about 2000s, early 2000s, right? Right when this Kasauti, Kahani and all started. So
Right.
he's like, she bought the 3 sets outright
Okay.
from the studio, and even he was surprised. He was like, what are you doing? Why are you buying the set? Everybody's renting it. She's like,
Right.
but I want to produce more shows. And if I have a set that is ready, I don't have to spend that money on renting it every day.
Right.
And those 3 sets helped her produce at least 5 to 6 years of regular shows, episodes coming out. And he's like, those 3 sets का जो investment है वो हमें कम से कम 10-15 बार वापस return दे चुका है सिर्फ वो 3 set का. And it made so much sense, like वो उसका प्रोडक्ट एक एपिसोड है, उसका फैक्ट्री एक सेट है, तो वो फैक्ट्री खरीदेगा ना इंसान. And
Yeah. Yeah.
that's how she's productized the whole thing. And you very beautifully mentioned that also, that she's made it a habit, right? Any business that becomes the consumer's habit is a good
Yeah.
business.
100%.
So
100%.
TRPs are over the roof. Everybody is lining up to pay for these ad slots.
100%.
Networks are happy. The producer is happy. So obviously it's going to go, keep going on.
Right.
And because the audience is such, right? If the audience tomorrow stops watching a Sasural Simar Ka,
She'll stop
they'll
producing
obviously
it.
she'll stop producing it. Not just her. Like there are
Exactly.
so many people who are after Ekta Kapoor got into the game, there's so many who entered it, right?
100%. Yeah.
And everybody replicated her model.
Absolutely.
जल्दी जल्दी एपिसोड निकालो, अच्छे सेट, अच्छे मॉडल, अच्छे
Yeah.
कपड़े.
Yeah.
एंड दैट्स व्हाट इंडियंस एस्पायर फॉर ना यार. एक आइडियल घर में कि भाई बिजनेस अच्छा हो, फैक्ट्री हो, घर
Yeah.
बहुत बढ़िया हो, बहू सुंदर हो. They gave the ideal setting and then they told
बहु
कि अब
लंबी
इसमें
पतली
प्रॉब्लम है.
गोरी.
So yeah. So okay, so just for fun, okay, I'll let's discuss a few serial
So,
plots.
so before you continue, I wanna talk about my journey which I had with these TV soaps. So
Right.
till you can think about till I got exposed to the internet,
Huh.
this was the only form of content which I knew which existed.
Right.
Okay, I never knew that something else can exist. I never knew that you can have these very overarching themes, you can have character building, you can have very well, like every single word written to perfection. And the first TV show which I experienced this was when the internet came, or rather internet was there for a long time, but when I was exposed to the internet, the first time I saw this sitcom called How I Met Your Mother.
All right.
And and this is where I come to my next point, and why Indian TV soaps are so important is, why thinking about this is so important, why producing better shows is so important, is that entire show of How I Met Your Mother was something so new to me. The editing was so crisp. The writing was next level. The characters, I felt bad for those characters when stuff was happening. I felt
Right,
good
right.
when good stuff happened. And I had never experienced this shit, boss. I was like, what is this? Like,
This, like, a piece of art can do this also to you. You know, that feeling is something else.
right. And especially for me, so Siddharth, I'm sure you know, like, I was not someone who would ever be exposed to such complex concepts
Right,
of
right.
feeling stuff, of thinking about relationships, of thinking about your career, your destiny, your life. Never have I ever been like that. And I was obviously numbed up with a lot of these TV shows. I was like, हाँ ठीक है कुछ भी दिखाते हैं. And the second part before I continue was before How I Met Your Mother, the TV show which I used to watch, and I'm not shitting you, and you can make how much ever fun of me as you want, was this silly ass TV show called Shakalaka Boom Boom.
Hey, I also watched it, dude. What are you saying? Dude, I used to binge. I used to binge Shakalaka Boom Boom and Sonpari. I remember Sonpari and Shakalaka Boom Boom ka intro songs. What are you saying?
And after I got exposed to How I Met Your Mother, they had a lot of references. They had references to Lord of the Rings. They had references to some of these things. And that's how I got exposed to these Western movies as well. And that also was like an eye opener. I saw
Yeah.
Star Wars because of that show. I saw Lord of Rings because of that show. I was like, my God, this is the fantasy world which people talk about.
Yep, yep.
Like I could never. My brother would read a lot of fantasy books. I would be like, "Kya hai ye?" Like I can't even think about it, and I was just blown. And that's when I started looking at some of these TV soaps from a more critical angle, thinking
Right.
that how's the writing or how's the, you know, I
Right,
was
right.
like, boss, these guys have like the worst format if you think about it deeply. Not just that, how, and they have the worst format despite having the most influence
Yep,
amongst women in India.
yep. So
So, yeah, now coming to what you were saying.
it's also about the industry maturity, right? Like these industries in the West, they have
Yeah.
been producing TV shows for a long time now. They've been, the audience has also grown with the producers, right? The
Yes.
audience has seen, so they've been through the 70s show, they've been through, 10 to 15 daily talk show hosts, night show hosts.
Right.
They've evolved as an audience. They've rejected a lot of things that did not work, right? And because of that, the industry has gone through an evolution where they know now, okay, this will not work with our audience, or that will work with our audience.
Yep.
In our case, we are a young industry, right? Like India is a young country, first of all. We
Right.
got mass communication, we got TV sets only 30 to 40 years ago.
Yep.
And at that time it was just one or two channels. The liberalization happened in 91. Even
Right.
then it was not so easy to, start producing shows. I think mass production started happening only when we were growing up, like when we came into high school, and that's when Ekta Kapoor started her thing and all of that. So
Yep.
it's a pretty young industry right now. So we
Yeah.
can't really discount the entire industry. It's a growing process. Let's say it's a teen.
100%.
It's in their teenage years right now, right? But like you mentioned, like when you were exposed to How I Met Your Mother, that was the first time you saw something that spoke to you as an
Right.
audience,
Right.
the show. The same thing happened with me when, like, I was in school, I think, and my brother, my uncle, he got Prison Break, and
Oh.
that was the first time I did binge watching. Like I didn't even know what binge watching was, but me and my elder brother, like my elder
Right.
uncle and the
Right.
middle uncle, right? The middle uncle got this from his friends who were in engineering,
Right.
and he showed us one episode, right? And me and the elder brother, we could not stop. We were like, "Ek aur dikha, ek aur dikha, ek aur dikha," and because
Right.
it was a cliffhanger at the end of it, so we
Right. Right.
wanted to watch the next thing, right?
Right.
And it blew our minds. We were like, "What the fuck is this guy doing? Is this possible?" And he's using science, dude.
Oh
Like
God. Yeah.
he's using physics, he's using
Yeah.
chemistry, and he's drawn a map of the jail on the back of his fucking body. And
Yeah.
we were mind blown. We were like, "Fuck it, kaise?" And I remember we finished the whole thing in 3 or 4 days. We
Yeah.
did not wait. We could not wait. And after that, I just could not stop binging shit. Like I still binge,
Yeah.
and that is
And by the way, yeah. Sorry. Finish your thought. Sorry.
and that is what good writing does. If you're a good writer,
Yeah.
that is, you will make sure that people want to watch. Like, I remember Game of Thrones, dude. Like, we used to wait the entire year, right, to watch watch that one full series, one
Yeah.
full
10
season.
episodes or 12 episodes. Yeah.
And the day it was out, the next day we were done with it,
Yeah.
and we were
Yeah.
discussing all of it. And it's not just that, like, good piece of television, good piece of film, it transforms you, dude. It takes you to places.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Like, I remember when I first saw. So my my brother also showed me Saw, the movies, and I
This.
was
Okay.
scandalized. Okay, I was a child, and I was like, "What? I could not sleep, dude, for at least 2 3 days." I was like, "Why would you make me watch this, man?" And I couldn't stop also because I was like, "I want to know what happens."
Yeah. 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 And adding to this fact about the influence of TV, and why I really think this conversation is important on what kind of shows anyone decides to watch is a good writer can make you feel things you've never felt before. At least,
Exactly. It
at
it
least,
it can. It can. Like, I am 100% sure about this. Even, okay, let's just take an example. Okay,
right,
leave aside television for a minute.
right.
Any political leader that you follow, or any guy you follow and you look up to, how do you end up looking up to him? You might have heard him speak somewhere, right?
Yep,
You might have heard him give him giving a speech, or
yep.
him writing a blog or something. What is that? That speech is written by a good writer.
Correct.
That is how he encapsulates you. That
Right.
blog is written by a good writer. So I want to come back to this, right? I want to come back to how television and good television can influence a country as a whole. There's
Yep.
this very, so you know about Aaron Sorkin, right?
Right. The social network guy.
The Social Network guy, right?
Yeah.
He is a brilliant TV producer and writer. Okay, he is
Right.
behind shows such as the Newsweek,
The
the
person of
West,
interest.
the Person of Interest, the West Wing.
Right.
Now, the West Wing is a brilliant TV show. Okay, I highly recommend it if people have not seen it.
Okay.
I don't think it's available on any OTT platforms. You'll have to do some weird shit to get to watch it, but do it
Right.
because it is worth it. I'll tell you what it's about. The West
Okay.
Wing is the wing where all White House personnel work.
Okay.
All the president's staff. I'm talking about the press secretary, the
Okay.
first assistant to the president, the speech writers, the communication director, and a few other people. There is a team of 5 to 6 people who work directly under the president, and that TV series is about this is about the daily happenings in the White House, and what role each of these guys play, and as a communications director, as a speech writer, as a liaison, and all of this. And the whole show has a liberal premise, right? The president is a liberal Democrat, and he pushes policies that Democrats have been dreaming about for all their life in the US, right? And he passes them. He ends up covering 2 terms, and the whole season covers his 2 terms, right? And since the West Wing, it has been an assumption for people, or it has been like people have concluded this also, that the liberals have been so inspired and taken away by the West Wing and its dreamy philosophy, that they have not been able to actually do shit because of that.
Wow.
And
Wow.
the whole liberal political representation in the US
Uh huh.
has been beaten up, has gotten fucked up by the Republicans, because it seemed so dreamy. And
Wow.
all liberal arguments have come mostly out of West Wing, and because of that, the liberal
Wow.
argument has been so democratized, or so it's become so common now that it has been accepted that हाँ ये नहीं होगा, ये सब ये सब ख्याली पुलाव है ना? तो that is the kind of influence a show has had on the entire psyche of a country.
Wow.
Now imagine what kind of power the television has, right?
Right.
Now compare that to Sasural Simar Ka and you're obviously going to get disappointed.
I was gonna get to that. I was gonna get to that. So after I got exposed to a lot of these shows, I really thought about what kind of stuff I want to do, and I was like, okay, marketing is something which is appealing to me, especially because of the fact that I started researching that how is a show like this made, and how is an Indian TV show made. And the crazy part is the script writer has tremendous amount of influence.
Yep.
And it starts there. And after that, just that written document gets translated to a show like this. And that's when I was like, damn, marketing copywriting is going to be a skill set which I will build. I don't care what happens.
Now imagine the same guy
Right.
when you entered college. Had you ever even imagined that you will be into marketing?
No ways. Absolutely no
right?
ways.
Exactly. You saw something, you got
Right.
influenced by it,
Exactly.
you liked it, you want
Exactly.
to know how is somebody doing this to me? I want to
Right.
do this too.
Exactly. And what's the crazy part? When I think about it like this, and now I compare that with, okay, can I try to figure out some patterns or writing philosophies which are being used in Indian TV soaps and what kind of influence they have, because they're tremendously popular. And one thing was very clear is playing on someone's insecurity is an easy escape.
It is. It's an easy writing hack also.
इट्स अ वेरी इजी राइटिंग हैक. तुमको कल पॉपुलैरिटी चाहिए, कोई इनसिक्योरिटी के ऊपर वीडियो बनाओ, इट विल बिकम वायरल गारंटीड.
That's how most of LinkedIn posts are.
Yeah, so most of the LinkedIn posts are like that itself, like they're indirectly, just playing on some sort of insecurity, either by showcasing someone very huge and how they got there, and by telling them that you should be doing more, or in Indian TV serials case, what are the different relationships in our house? What are the reasons why these relationships can get screwed up? Okay, each one of this is the episode.
Yeah.
What's the relation between the Saas and Bahu which can get screwed up? What's the relation between the wife and husband which can get screwed up? What's the relation between, I don't know, like, what is that called? In-laws, like Sota, like the younger Bahu and the older Bahu can get screwed up. Right? They literally, I'm pretty sure, right? They make a list. Okay, these are the relations. Now, how do they get screwed up? Right. Now, assign this to them. And the crazy part is, they commit so nicely to these insecurities that the villain character, forget about the writing of her dialogues and all, it will be completely unreal. No one's going to do shit like this. But the villain character will have black nail polish and black clothes.
Oh yeah, dude.
And black lipstick, and I'll be like, who the fuck does that?
Even to this day, when I see an evil lady or some lady in whether it's my family or somebody else's family, if there is some lady who's being bitchy or whatever, my mind straight away goes to Komolika.
Oh my god!
I cannot stop. That background music starts playing in my head. Lika, Komolika, and that thing that she used to do with her hair. I'm
God,
dude, it has been 15 years. Please
get
stop.
over it.
But I can't, dude. I swear. I think this day I
Siddharth, let me do some counseling here. I think you have a thing for Komolika.
I do. I'm not kidding. I'm accepting it. I do. And if I find Komolika or I see her somewhere,
you're gonna ask her out on a date immediately.
Obviously, that it's been my dream, dude. Komolika was the shit. I can't tell you how big of a crush I had on Komolika. Okay.
Oh god.
Because all the others were really boring, man. They were either black or white. Komolika
And
had zing. She knew what she wanted and she got it.
who was the actress of Komolika? I would really wanna
I
see.
think it was I'm not sure, man. Who was it? I, it is the craziest character, the most epic character I can remember from Indian TV soaps.
So played by Suzanne Khan. Is that the right lady? Let me quickly check. No, no, no. Okay. Very interesting. So, yeah, I mean, that's how deep it gets ingrained, like content and media has tremendous influence. And I'm quite sure
Urvashi
that
Dholakia.
go follow her on Twitter, bro.
I don't think
Right,
Komolika. Komolika is too savage for Twitter, dude. She doesn't need Twitter and all.
right. So she was probably a well-written character, and it's also possible that the casting would have been absolutely perfect. And I'm
Yeah, the
100%
casting.
sure at the course of the TV show they would have replaced her with another,
Oh yeah, that obviously happened.
right. But yeah, anyway, coming back to this, right? So this is how I was exposed, and now coming to what scenario it is now. So let's talk about that. There are a lot of TV shows like this even now, and they have a slight modern twist these days. That's one category of TV shows. And dude, this it's like I've been mind blown by this, that this is something which Indians have found appealing. There's an entire category of TV soaps completely based around superstition.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
you have this Nagin, and then you have
Oh
this,
yeah, Nagin.
and I'm like, how are people watching this? Because each one of these shows, each episode takes lakhs or sometimes, crores to produce. And
And
I'm
the
not able to
VFX
figure it
is
out.
bad. The storyline is bad. There's the same old घिसा scheme of falling in love with your enemy.
Right,
चील आ जाएगा, जीनी आ जाएगा, मंगूस आ जाएगा. What the
right.
fuck, Nag? Like,
And this passes for science fiction, boss. And I'm like, what the
हाँ.
hell? Like, how is this
कौन
science
बोलता
fiction?
है इंडिया में साइंस फिक्शन नहीं बनता है? रोज बनता है रोज.
And each one of these shows and each one of these, super. Dude, and there's not one, Siddharth, across publishers, Colors, Sony, Star, they have one or two shows like this, which are completely based on, this type of Nagin and all that stuff.
Dude,
And
even regular shows like like that. What is that? Sasural Simar ka. Yeah. So
okay,
they
what happens there?
started. So okay, I'll just give you a brief. Okay, so they copied Game of Thrones ka teaser. Okay, from season 6. The show started with two sisters getting married to two brothers. Okay.
Okay,
The younger sister became the elder sister's Jethani.
okay,
Okay. But now it has gone to a point where the younger sister is dead. Roli is dead. Simar is
okay,
alive. And
okay.
Simar's entire family is possessed
With whom? With what?
with supernatural characters, supernatural elements. Like
Okay.
there's some Nagin who's come into her mother-in-law's body, or there's some other thing that has come
Okay.
into her husband's body. And everyone's playing
Okay.
along. Nobody's like, what the fuck? Like it's still going on. Okay, I'll tell you one thing, okay? So Simmer turned into a housefly, okay, to take revenge in
What?
yeah, this is real shit.
And is this a popular TV show?
This is very popular, Sasural Simmer ka.
Dude, what are you saying?
I'm not kidding you, dude.
And what, like they legit follow around
She
I
she
don't know, like a
became
mosquito?
she became a housefly and she went around trying to take revenge.
Dude, I really want to know what's the search volume of this particular TV show, man. Oh my god!
What?
This TV show is so popular or what?
It is very popular, boss. That's what I'm
Dude,
telling
it
you.
has millions of searches every
Yeah,
month.
it's very, very popular. That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
Whoa.
So in one of the episodes, Rolly follows a girl in white dress and then
Okay.
confronts her. But while
Okay.
she's talking to her, the white dress girl changes her dress into blue color,
Okay.
and still Rolly does not notice this shit. Okay,
Okay.
and she leaves her saying it was a mistake,
Okay.
and that was the scene.
This is why if you would tell your parents that I want to get into media writing, they will tell you ये सब लिखेगा बैठ के.
And I'll give you a very fascinating insight. Okay, I was seeing Anurag Kashyap's interviews and he spoke about the beginning of his career and all that. And he told the interviewer that I was the guy who used to write 10 pages a day for these scripts, these TV shows. And he's like, any TV show you pick out from those days, I have written the episodes. I did not get credit. I was ghostwriting because I was known as the guy जो एक दिन में 10 पन्ने लिख के दे देता है ना? तो मैं लिख के दे देता था, वो उसमें कचरा लिखना कुछ भी लिखना डजंट मैटर, एज लॉन्ग एज मैं एपिसोड लिख के दे रहा हूँ उनको. तो दैट इज द स्कूल ऑफ थॉट ओवर देयर ना, कि कुछ भी लिख के दो, एक दिन में 10 पन्ने लिख के दो, बट दो.
Interesting.
So there's one more. Okay, let's just go through some fun shit now. Okay.
Do you want to share your screen?
No, I don't want it. It's okay. I
Okay.
just
Okay.
there is one show called Diya or Bati Hum. Okay,
Okay.
in which there is this there's this Bahu Sandhya Bindni. She's known,
Okay.
okay,
Okay.
as she's in Rajasthan and all, and typical Marwadi household and all that. But she
Okay.
always wanted to become an IPS officer. Okay,
Okay.
so it took her some time, okay, to convince her parents, her mother, in-laws, and all of that. But eventually, she becomes one.
Okay.
But once she became an IPS officer in the same episode. On in the beginning, she's dealing with terrorists, okay. In the middle, she's dealing with traffic violations. And
Okay.
again, in the end, she's dealing with terrorists. And this, like, everybody believes it, okay, and everybody wants to be like, oh, she's such a brave woman. She's become an IPS officer even after
Okay.
getting married. And we've already spoken about Nagin and all of that. Sasural Simar ka
Yeah.
we've spoken about.
There's another TV show I want to talk about. This was supposed to be like a modern show, and
Exactly, like
I don't know. It was
progressive
very
values and shit.
progressive. Yeah, exactly. And I was like, okay. And I didn't watch this show. I overheard it when my mom and my wife watches it. And one particular episode, which it stuck in my head because of how absurd it was.
Uh-huh.
The name of the show is Anupama.
Oh, right. It is all the rage right
And
now.
I was like, and this particular episode just burnt in my head, and I was like, you have to stop watching this shit because this is like very wrong.
Huh.
Is Anupama finds out that her husband has been cheating on her,
Huh.
and her immediate peers, or people around her, whatever, in-laws or kids or siblings or friends, I don't know, they first thought to her, or their first comment to her, was not consoling her or telling her get the fuck out of this relationship and all that stuff. Their first comments, and I was just shocked that someone could write this and broadcast it to crores of people, was, what did you do wrong?
What? And exactly. So
How do you-
that is a big problem, dude.
I was like, oh my god, like that's the first thought which you get. Are you serious?
What you've just mentioned, right? The fact is that that is the reality of our society. It's they're not showing fiction, and the victimization of the Indian woman has been played out so well by these TV soaps that women who are watching it can relate to it because they know that that is how they are being treated at home, right? And because of that, they've accepted that victim mentality, first of all, right? Like
Okay.
you might have heard this कि औरतों की सबसे बड़ी दुश्मन औरतें ही होती है, दूसरी औरतें, है ना?
Right, right, right,
दे ट्राई एंड डाउन, लाइक बड़ी जो औरतें होती है वो बोलती है तुम ऐसे फ्री कैसे हो, ऐसे नहीं कर सकते, ऐसे नहीं कर सकते, एंड ऑल दैट.
right.
एंड ऑल दीज इनसिक्योरिटीज आर not just showcased but celebrated in these TV soaps. They're given, they give out an image that if you are a spineless doormat
Mm-hmm.
of for a bahu, then you're a good bahu. But if you, for example, grow a spine,
Right.
then oh, we've got problems. How can you do that? It's not the ideal bahu. And that is so fucked up. Like, dude, any, like, if I tell my younger sister to just follow whatever I've said, she'll be like, fuck you, dude, I'll do my shit. Why am I supposed to follow you? And I
Yeah,
respect that. I want that,
makes sense.
for everybody to
Yeah.
inculcate that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
no.
Apart from when safety is concerned, I think you should be able to form your opinion and all that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't like ask for. So this is what I'm trying to say. Like the whole idea of the Indian TV soap is to exploit on the victimization of women. Just highlight the whole victim crap.
And I think, and I hope that, uh, well, I hope political parties realize this on both sides and start putting money behind actually influencing opinion towards something better and not stay at the status quo. Move it somewhere. And when both parties get involved, I'm sure, when I say both, I'm talking about both sides.
Mhm.
I'm sure. And look, unfortunately, this will need a political will. This will need, these big production houses having some sort of an agenda, and I'm okay with that because see, I'm a firm believer that when it's an open market, you will think that okay, I can push an agenda like this. I'm sure the other side will also think the same thing, and they'll try to push that agenda. But point is that moves you somewhere, like it doesn't stay there, and I hate that stasis which ends up getting created. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I completely agree because we've been stuck at a stagnant position in Indian TV soaps for the past decade or so. I think more than a decade. We haven't
Absolutely.
really evolved. Like the
Yep.
stories are the same, the plots are the same, the twists are the same. There's nothing new that's happening.
Yeah.
And there was a new wave of reality shows that came in, but oh my god, have we fucked it up royally?
Oh
Like
yeah,
it
yeah. That's
is.
also been really bad.
I
I'm
think
I'm
only
I'm glad
KBC
Shark.
makes sense.
Yeah, even KBC gets boring after a while. I'm glad Shark Tank is, being pushed. I'm so
Yep, yep.
happy that Shark Tank India has come. I've seen some of the episodes. Trust me, you may feel that they're a bit brutal and they're a bit harsh. Trust me, that's the reality of the business world, and it's the best thing which can happen to us. That
Yeah.
being that brutal,
And
truthful, and harsh.
they're not brutal, dude. They're being angels. And to be honest, if you go in like in front of Bangalore VCs and hedge fund managers, these guys
Yeah,
are angels.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, for sure.
if you compare them to Kormangla VCs, Kormangla VCs will strip you naked.
Yeah,
You'll
yeah,
be like,
yeah,
what? Get the
yeah.
fuck out of here. Right. And the thing what Stark Tank is actually doing is it's getting entrepreneurship into the conversation,
I
into the
love it that
household
it's
conversation.
happening, and
Yep.
I've seen few episodes. I was blown away by some of the products, some of the
It is,
entrepreneurs.
yeah,
Absolutely
I love
amazing.
it. Totally love it.
By the way, I mean, just to tell everyone, one of our marketing plans is actually to reach out to each one of these companies and try to do video marketing for them.
Yep.
So, just a side note there.
If you
But
guys know any of these guys, please connect.
yeah, for sure, we can do some incredible video marketing for them. But coming back to this, right? I hope that it moves somewhere. I hope better shows are produced, and it is happening. And now
It is,
we'll
it
come to
is.
OTT platforms. Some of the shows which have come out
Oh,
recently.
wait, before we go into OTT platforms, we need to give a little time to the reality TV shows, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right,
Sorry. So please talk about reality. Yeah.
okay, KBC was good, right? But
Right.
then this wave of bullshit came along,
Right.
right? Which was called MTV Roadies. And oh
Oh
my
God.
God, I
Oh
can't.
God.
Like, I am myself embarrassed that I used to
Oh, you were
watch
one
it
of the person who
religiously.
stood in line, right?
No, I didn't. I didn't go for the auditions. I wanted
Don't
to.
lie, Siddharth. This
I
is a
know, no.
safe space.
Why would I lie, dude? I'm telling you, no. I wanted to. I genuinely wanted to. I just couldn't. Right? I
Okay.
like today. Obviously, I won't. But in those days, I was like, why would anybody not want to go there? है
Right,
ना?
right, 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 right,
And I used to religiously watch it in my
right.
teenage years. And when I grew up, and I like my younger sister and my younger brothers and all, they were watching, and I'm like, what the fuck are you guys watching? Why would you like this? Look at it. And they were like, no, but we want to watch it. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. And I was like, yeah, man,
Right.
it makes sense. I used to be the same when I was a teenager. Like, no, my elder brother didn't get it. He was like, what the fuck are you watching? But I wanted to binge the whole thing.
Well,
And dude,
I had an opposite relation with my younger brother. He
uh,
actually exposed me to a lot of good TV shows.
right.
He would be like, क्या देख रहा है मैं बेचता हूँ देखो वो देख जाके.
Yeah, with in your case, that like I can believe that because you never really wanted to explore things, right? You were
Yeah,
always
yeah, yeah.
confined to, yeah, मेरे को जो सही लग रहा है मैं वो करेगा.
Right.
So
Yeah.
coming back to reality shows,
Right. So
MTV
roadies, and
Roadies,
please
Big
request you,
Boss.
Siddharth, don't forget Splitsville also.
Oh, Splitsvilla, dude, yeah, man.
Dude,
Roadies and Splitsvilla,
that skewed the
the
nature
whole.
Indians have with relationships.
It did. And like these two shows also messed up MTV, man. Before that, MTV was fun. MTV had Cyrus Brocha in it. MTV
I
had
swear.
Sophie Chaudhary. MTV had Cyrus Sahukar. These guys were
Right.
fun. MTV had Jose.
Jose, dude,
Huh.
you
Jose
have to
was such
follow
a
Jose
fun
on
guy.
YouTube. He is
Oh yeah,
such
I
an
do. I do.
underrated YouTuber.
I do. I
Oh
do.
my
It's
god, he's
insane.
as hilarious as he was at that time.
He is. He is. I love the
Oh
guy,
my
dude.
god.
He's insane.
Go
And
check.
all of these guys were sidelined because of this shit, because of roadies, because of fucking Ranvijay and Raghu and Rajiv coming and shouting their lungs out. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but that happened, and then Big Boss happened, and then there was Big Boss was a. So I'll tell you one incident from Big Boss. Okay, this so like a religious reality show aficionado, I watched all of these things. I watched the
Okay.
Great Indian Laughter Challenge, loved
Right.
it.
That
I
was
still
amazing. Great Indian Laughter Channel season 1 and 2 was hilarious.
insane. I still think Sunil Pal shouldn't have won the season one. Raju Srivastav should have won it. I don't know who fixed the whole thing, but yeah. And I watched Big Boss also the first season. Okay, and I remember in the first season there was this. I'm not sure if so she was, I think she's gay or lesbian, I'm not sure what she was. So
Huh?
she was Bobby Darling, right? You all
Okay.
remember her from a lot of television shows and movies. So in Big Boss, the whole thing is you vote so that you ask for votes so that you are saved. You like you ask for votes so that आप निकलने से आप बच जाओ, है ना?
Okay.
She came to the audience and she was asking the opposite. She was like, आप मुझे वोट दीजिए ताकि आप मेरे को वोट देंगे तो मैं जीतूंगी तो मैं मेरा सेक्स चेंज का ऑपरेशन करा सकती हूँ, है ना? So
Oh
she was
god.
called to the Big Boss room and Big Boss explained to her that listen, ऐसा नहीं होता है कि अगर आप वोट मांगोगे ना तो आप निकल जाओगे.
Okay.
आपको वोट नहीं मांगना है. आपको रहना है कि आप रुको. It was hilarious. I don't remember anything from Big Boss after this, but Big Boss is a I think it's disturbing. It's not even funny anymore. It is
Right.
disturbing because it has made fighting very normal. Like people enjoy watching people fight. Like how voyeuristic is that? Like why would you enjoy looking at people fight? Like those are your worst dreams come true. And I don't know. Like I don't
I don't know.
understand why
Maybe
people enjoy Big Boss.
maybe it just tells you, how much deep rooted shit we have in our head.
Huh? It's so that's so true, dude. Because if you're enjoying Big Boss, then there is, I don't know, there's something fundamentally wrong with you and there's some childhood trauma that you need to address. I don't know. I know. So
I don't
after
know.
that,
Maybe we'll invite a psychologist in one of these shows and ask them why this happens.
oh yeah, we'll be inviting a lot of psychologists, trust me, because Indians have a problem with mental health and therapy, and we need to we one of the ideas for this podcast is to make therapy more easy to talk about, if nothing else.
Absolutely.
So then
Absolutely.
came this wave of competitions, which started with Indian Idol and singing competitions
Oh
and dance
God.
competitions, and even these guys like. So there's reality shows are not reality. Okay, first of all, everybody knows this.
Right. Right.
Even beyond that, like each and every contestant that you watch on the show are screened, initially out of some 5,000 people, only 50 are selected or 20 are selected.
Right.
Now each of these 20 people are asked कि आपका स्टोरी बताओ और आपकी स्टोरी में कुछ रोने जैसा है तो वो बताओ, मतलब
Right.
आपका स्ट्रगल बताओ. And then they
Right.
shoot their whole struggle, they go to their chawl and they show their house and they make the audience feel bad for the guy. Why? Because when you feel bad for the guy, you end up voting. You end up picking up the call and voting for that guy. Now, at that time, I remember, dude, this was Fame Gurukul. Okay, you remember Kazi Tokir, and so there's this first season. There was Kazi Tokir, who was a Kashmiri guy.
Okay.
There was Arijit Singh, who was a finalist, who's now this
Oh yeah,
huge
all
deal.
these guys freaking got removed, right?
No, these are the three finalists I'm telling you. Arijit Singh was a
Okay.
finalist, Kazi Tokir
Okay.
was a finalist, and there's this one more guy called Rex D'Souza. है ना?
Okay.
And everybody knew that Kazi Tokir is not a good singer. Everybody knew that Arijit Singh is the best singer out of the three.
Right.
But still, the whole country ended up voting for Kazi Tokir, dude. And you know how voting worked in those days? This was not the mobile phone era. This was the
Oh.
landline era I'm talking about. So
Okay.
you had to pick up the BSNL landline that you had. You had to dial this number. And remember, at this point, each and every call was chargeable. So each call you used to get charged $2. है ना?
Wow. Okay.
And I remember voting for Kazi Tokir at least 100 times in those days. And I was so mad behind the guy. I'm like, ये तो जीतना ही चाहिए यार, इसका इतना स्ट्रगल हो गया है, इतना इतना लाइफ इतना खराब है इसका, अभी जीत जाएगा तो सेट हो जाएगा, है ना?
Okay.
So you got played into the emotions and you ended up voting like mad for the guy.
And
If I
like, was
did
he a
that,
good singer?
no, he sucked. He sucked donkey balls.
Like,
That is what I'm trying to
dude,
say.
he beat out Arijit Singh, man. What are you saying? Like Arijit
But he
Singh.
sucked. He was nothing in front of Arijit Singh, dude. But that's
Okay.
what I'm saying. The power of storytelling. उसका स्टोरी बताया ना कि मैं कश्मीर से हूँ, वहाँ इतना दिक्कत है हमको, ऐसा ऐसा होता है, तो पूरा इंडिया का लोग पागल हो गया कि कश्मीर से आया बंदा, इसको make him feel home and all of that. So that's how they play on with emotions. So yeah, that wave started. Then dance reality shows happened. Then
Yeah.
talent reality shows happened. And
Yeah.
then this fucking what is that Khatro Ke Khiladi and all of that shit happened. So like I don't know, man. There's so much to do. There's so much scope in producing good content, good TV, but we end up compromising on a
Dude,
lot on
so you have
quality.
to understand this. It's not like यहाँ पे पैसा कम लग रहा है, ठीक है? They spend as much as
उतना ही
any
लग रहा है
American show.
वही
Yeah.
हाँ.
It's surprising. It's sad. It's surprising, and I don't know. So coming to the next part, and something good to look out for.
OTTs.
So before OTTs, right? I think it started, at least for me, respect for Indian shows started with Permanent Roommates.
Oh yeah, dude. These guys TVF are
Fuck.
insane. I love
I could not,
Permanent Roommates. They're so
and
crisp. The writing was so crisp.
dude, and the character of Nikhil in that.
It's insane.
I
That guy.
I would be like, boss, I relate to him so much. I am as clueless as he is.
It was such a fun character to watch. Like all the
Oh,
characters.
God.
You
I
remember
love
that
that
one
shit.
guy who was this. So the girl, उसकी जो roommate होती है, उसका boyfriend. रूडी
Okay.
या क्या नाम होता है उसका, पता नहीं.
I forgot. Huh?
अरे he first scene he comes, he's not wearing anything except boxers, and he
Okay.
comes and he fills the whole, there's a glass, ठीक है, तो he fills the whole glass with whiskey, सुबह ऊपर से नीचे से ऊपर. तो this guy Nikhil the protagonist, he asks कि पानी पानी कहाँ मिलाओ, पानी तो मिलाओ. Then this guy is like, जगह कहाँ है bro? this guy Nikhil is like, सुबह सुबह दारू 11 बज रही है. तो दिस गाइज लाइक, हाँ ब्रो, अभी थोड़ी देर 8 बज, मतलब 1 घंटे में लिकर शॉप खुल जाएगी नीचे वाली, जाके ले आएंगे एक और बोतल. It was,
I'm sure.
it was like, I can't fucking get over that scene. It is
That's how the show started, right?
Yeah, that I think this is the first episode only. And it, like, the TVF guys were insane in terms of writing, producing. The music was on point. Shout out to
Absolutely.
Vaibhav Bandhu, insane guy who
Right.
does all the music for TVF.
Okay.
And I think it started from Permanent Roommates,
Okay.
and then it just kept went going on. Then Pictures happened, right? Pictures was one of the top 10 shows on IMDb.
Wow. Okay. That's, I
Yeah.
mean, Janta ka power. But yeah.
And no, like it was genuinely well written, well produced, good story, all of
Yeah.
that, right?
And
The
I think that's
characters had
when
arc.
I think that's when, a lot of these startups started getting a lot of funding, and they wanted to invest in the Indian market, of course, with Geo and all coming in. And
Right.
I have seen some incredible shows come out, incredible movies come out. One of my favorite shows, which I have seen over the last few years, Indian show, full top to bottom Indian show, is Panchayat. It's on Prime Video. Go
Oh,
check it
yeah.
out.
Insane.
क्या शो है यार. And वो
वो
जो
very good
character है, he has like frustrated look always.
I'd highly recommend one more show. It's on Sony Live. Same TVF guys. It's called Good Luck.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
so it's basically a middle class family, and the good luck in the family is telling out stories, and they make it very clear in every episode कि ये सिर्फ किस्से सुना रहे हैं हम आपको, कोई कहानी नहीं है इसमें. एक एपिसोड दूसरे एपिसोड से रिलेटेड नहीं है ना. ईच एपिसोड इज इंडिपेंडेंट, एंड ऑल एपिसोड्स आर, ये सारे एपिसोड किस्से हैं, है ना. ये सब छोटे छोटे किस्से हैं जो हम हमारे गुल्लक में इकट्ठा करते हैं एज अ मिडिल क्लास इंडियन फैमिली. एंड टिपिकल मिडिल क्लास इंडियन फैमिली में जो जो किस्से होते हैं ना, they've shown that only. And it is on point, good writing. Like, it's one of those feel good shows, dude. Like, you watch it at the end of the day and you feel so good. You laugh. It's nice. So
Yeah.
like, that's what, there is talent. There is
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much inside our country. There's so many stories inside the country.
Yeah.
You don't need a lot of these,
Yeah, and I'm very
brands.
thankful for a lot of these OTT platforms to have, given opportunity to these guys.
Yep.
I mean, one of my targets is to get an educational show produced by one of these OTT platforms. But absolutely, I mean, some of the things which you just said, right? Some of these shows right now on Netflix, I have not seen this, but my brother has watched and my wife has watched. There's this show called Meenakshi Sundaram or something like
Sundareshwar,
that.
yeah. It's a show or it's
Yeah.
a movie?
It's a show. It's a show.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, it's a movie.
It's a
And
show. Yeah, it's a
there was
movie.
another one, I think, Little Things or something. Little Things.
Little things. Little things is a nice.
I'm asking her, by the way. So,
It's a cute show.
yeah, and these are some, real shows, boss, with realistic shit going on. And I don't know, like, these have been really appealing.
They've been validated by the audience also, right? Like, the audience has
100%.
given them validation. So there
And this
is
is good thing. This is a very good thing, going in the right direction. I really think that more shows like these need to get produced. And what happens is, the best part about this is, instead of telling kid don't watch TV shows, what you should do, and this is my suggestion to everyone out there, is show them a better show.
Yep. That's what I did with my parents, dude. I showed
Right.
him Gullak. I showed my dad Gullak का एक episode, and since then he's been like, वो लगाना यार, वो क्या है वो वाला तेरा Gullak लगा, because he loved it. He's like, he's
Yeah.
laughing along the characters, and
Right.
those are the stories that you need to tell. Like,
Right.
most of TV soaps is fiction, and whether it
Absolutely.
is science fiction or some other fiction, I don't care. But over here, there are real stories, right? Like,
Absolutely.
it's not just TVF. I think there's 2-3 more companies that produce good shows in terms of these OTT platforms and all that. But these guys have not penetrated the television yet.
Okay.
I think somebody who's working on that direction is this company called Stage.in.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, and I think the founders are also the people behind local language messaging app or something. I'm not sure,
okay,
but it's a step in the right direction where they've launched an app for all televisions,
okay,
and anybody can download the app and start watching these shows, these stories that they're all local stories from small towns. And there's now this wave of small town stories taking over the mainstream, right? We see that in Bollywood also. We see that, Ayushman Khurrana made his whole career out of these small town boy stories.
okay.
And it's a theme now, na? कि छोटे शहर में क्या क्या होते हैं किससे, and everybody likes to watch them.
That's the kind of shows, and I'm 100% sure Ekta Kapoor, being the business lady she is, uh, forget about the TV shows and all that. From a person perspective, she's killed it. I'm 100% sure she's gonna have a lot of shows like this, and
Oh yeah, she already does, na? She has an OTT platform, and I think it's called आई एम नॉट श्योर Z5 या क्या बोलते हैं यार उसका जो OTT प्लेटफॉर्म है उसको.
okay,
And yeah, she's released a few dirty shows and all that shit, which works obviously in India. But apart
of
from that,
course,
she's producing good shit also. So see, her logic is, देखो यार मैं 10 शो अगर गंदे बनाऊंगी ना, मतलब मास प्रोड्यूस्ड वाले बनाऊंगी, तो मैं एक शो अच्छा भी बनाऊंगी,
right,
एक मूवी अच्छी भी बनाऊंगी. She is the one who's behind crazy movies like Shore in the City
right,
and
right, right.
Once Upon a Time. So she's produced good stuff also. So it's a trade-off in quantity and
Dude, that's what.
quality.
So she's not a. You have to understand this clear difference that you have a creator and you have a business person, and they're two
Yep.
very different job roles. Only now some of them have been able to combine both of them. It's never happened historically. It's not possible to do it previously, and now because production and publishing is so easy, it is possible. But yeah, coming back to this, my suggestion is show them better shows, your
Yep.
parents, your siblings, whoever they are, and they themselves will start finding a lot of these shows absurd. Because human beings are smart. When you tell them don't watch this TV show, you're telling them that you're dumb. Or when
Huh.
you tell them, let me show you something better, they'll be like, yeah, sure, I'd love to take a recommendation. You
Exactly.
recommend something to me, Succession, it's in my head. I haven't started it, but I'm 100%
Yeah.
going to watch it.
It's a
That's how
brilliant
recommendations
TV
work.
show, yeah.
So that's our suggestion. Any parting words about the Indian TV soaps, Siddharth?
There's no words, dude. Like I'm speechless. How can I? There's nothing I can say. Like just try and expose your family and your parents to better shows. There's a
Right.
lot of things available on OTT right now. Look
Yeah.
at TVF. I'll tell you what, a simple hack. This is what I do, okay? Say you like a movie and or a TV series, है ना? Go to the credits, look at who wrote it. Look at the
Yeah.
writer.
And look for what else has he
Look
written?
for look for what else he's written. है
Yeah.
ना?
Yeah.
That's how I came across West Wing, because I
Oh.
loved Darren Sorkin. I loved A Few Good Men.
Okay.
I absolutely loved his writing. है ना?
Yeah.
And I used to watch Billions, and I remember Billions pe Aaron Sorkin was a writer.
A
And
guest
then
writer?
sorry?
He I don't think he wrote Billions. I think he was a guest writer in Billions
No,
on
no,
one of the episodes.
I think he's a co-writer, I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay.
So I got introduced to him through Billions, and then I saw A Few Good Men, and then I went to his Wikipedia page and I saw his other works, and I was blown away. I was like, oh fuck, dude! Like most of the movies that I like, The Social Network, Moneyball,
Everything was
most of
Moneyball
it
was
was.
Darren Sorkin. I didn't know that.
No, I'm not. I don't think
No, no,
Moneyball was
Moneyball
Aaron
was not
Sorkin.
Darren Sorkin. Come on.
Yeah, but
Moneyball was a
yeah,
different writer. He's also a very good writer.
no, I say Moneyball and The Social Network in the same sentence because the director is same. Again, I
Right, 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 right.
discovered David Fincher through that, and
Right,
that
yeah.
guy is a different beast altogether. If you go watch his filmography, his work. So that's what I'm saying. You feed your curiosity. Look at, get curious, find
Yeah.
out who's the writer, look at his other
Yeah.
works, try
Yeah.
and watch those shows. Watch one or two episodes. If you don't like it, fuck it, close it. But
Yeah.
try watching new shit. And highly recommend watching The West Wing and The Succession. If there is one show I'll recommend, I'd recommend The West Wing. Because I have not come across anything that is better written as a TV
Wow.
show, at least. It's
Yeah.
insane the kind of writing he's done in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's all for this episode, guys. Do
It
tune in
was
tomorrow.
too much
Hope.
fun.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, it was really fun, and I got a lot of good show recommendations, so I'll try to check them out, binge them probably. I've
Yep.
actually stopped binging episodes of that because once I start, I can't stop, and like work
Yeah.
gets stuck because of that.
Yeah, that's why I start binging only late night. I start at like 12 or 1 and then all night like
Right.
I'll decide a Saturday night कि हाँ पूरा रात को binge करना है और अगले दिन सोना है. So that
So that's all for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the show. Of course, we're available on YouTube, on Spotify as a podcast. We're trying to get ourselves published across different podcasts. So keep watching.
Oh, one more recommendation, Nikhil. One highly recommended show that I would say because of its good writing and the kind of things it covers.
Right.
Watch. There are two series that Anthony Bourdain recorded in his lifetime. Okay, proper,
Oh,
and they're called
dude.
Parts Unknown and
Yeah.
No Reservations.
Oh God.
Get yourself a Woot Selectka subscription. It is only
Right.
299 rupees for a year. It
Right.
has all the seasons of Parts Unknown and 2 seasons of No Reservation. You will understand what good writing is when you
What
watch
good
his shows.
storytelling is.
What good storytelling is.
Yeah.
That man used to go to a city, used to spend only 2 3 days over there, but he captured the essence of that city and he presented it in a storyline within 1 hour. And he met all of your crazy chefs of the time, all of your who's who of the time.
It's so sad. It's so sad. His story of
It's
the suicide is just pathetic.
I'll not get into that because that's another whole
Yeah.
episode. If you want me, I can go on and on about the guy.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to tell you is, so he had a very simple rule, right? He wrote as he spoke. He's like, I write as I speak. I don't know any other way to write, and that
Right.
clearly is visible in his shows.
Yeah.
You pick a show, you pick his Vietnam episode. He was in love with Vietnam as a country, right? And he's done 2 or 3 episodes there. Just watch those episodes. It'll blow your mind the kind of writing he's done, the kind of storytelling he's done. Like the kind of words he uses, it'll hit you. You'll want to go there. And I don't see any other travel influencer doing that to me. That
Wow.
guy
I didn't
was
know
in a
you follow
different
travel
league.
influencers, say that.
Like, I mean, you see these shows, na? You see a show coming up. You see India, mein there's so much, people. There's so many people watching. There's so many travel shows that have come up after that guy, but nobody has matched up to that guy. Like, I'm sorry to say, but he was a different league altogether.
Yeah.
You
Anthony
can't
Bourdain was
help but
something else.
feel bad about the guy, dude. Like, I felt
Dude, I
bad
got
only for.
obsessed. I got obsessed with Napolitan pizzas after seeing his episode on Napoli.
Yeah, exactly.
And
And the thing is, he wasn't really overwhelmed also by anything, you know? Like he used to go to the best of restaurants. He used to go to
he's the
El
professional
Bulli.
chef, dude. He runs
Huh.
restaurant. Like he ran
Yeah,
five-star restaurants before. Yeah.
I know, but see, there's a difference between running a restaurant and running a 3 Michelin star restaurant, right? And then being the world's best in it. He used to go to El Bulli and he
Right.
used to be like, yeah, I like it. Like, dude, this is the best restaurant in the world.
Right. Right.
And so I don't know, man. That guy was a different league.
Yeah.
Must watch if you're an explorer or you love traveling at heart. He went to places where you would not think of going even today, and he tried things that you would not think of trying even today. And I don't know, there's something else that guy was. I feel bad only for two people dying in my lifetime. One is Anthony Bourdain and the other is Irfan Khan.
Oh, fuck.
I have not gotten over
This show
Irfan
took a
Khan's
very
death.
sad turn.
Yeah,
Bro, what's
it
wrong with you?
did. But yeah, man, like these
Oh,
two
fuck.
guys. I genuinely feel bad that Irfan died so early because there
Yeah.
was so much left, I think, for him to do.
Dude, he was getting to the years where he'd become so ridiculously popular that he could star in a show and make it big.
Yeah, he already was. Dude, he starred in Jurassic Park. It doesn't
Yeah.
get bigger than that,
Yeah.
even in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So
Anyway, this
please
was a
watch
really
Anthony
fun show.
Bourdain.
Yeah.
Go to YouTube if you don't want to take a subscription. Just type Anthony
Parts
Bourdain on
unknown.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll find his episodes. Please watch.
Cool, guys. Bye. This was a
Cool.
very fun show. See you
Okay.
guys in our next episode tomorrow. Bye bye.
Bye bye.